Hello again, Kevin Cope from Supermicro, PM head of cloud management software here at Supermicro. We're continuing our video podcast on installation, first time setup of an SCC HA cluster and upgrading that SCC HA cluster. Those were the previous videos we talked about. Today we're going to focus on navigating and logging into the web GUI, which is basically the container that's part of the Kubernetes architecture. If you recall, in the previous video, we had to set up a global admin, which was a protected area within our platform that allowed you a backdoor to get in and be able to support your appliance. So typically in an enterprise management solution, you would plug yourself into an AD Active Directory service that exists within your enterprise network, as well as typically maybe deploying Keycloak as an identity provider for single sign-on. So today we're just going to show you two methods of logging in. Again, the .113, so what is that IP address? Well, that was the VIP IP address that we set up when we initially went through the installation process through your SCHA cluster. So you remember we had three nodes, three VM guest instances that were spread across KVM hypervisors through anti-infinity of being able to make sure that you supported a infrastructure for hardening your data center for high availability, so that if a PDU were to fail or a rack were to fail, you're covered, right, from a management platform perspective. So this URL we provided with you in the last video clip after the installation was complete that you could click on and immediately navigate into the platform and log in. So let's log in with that admin account, which is that global admin. So we're going to plug in admin, capitalized. Remember, it is capitalized. And we're going to plug in our password there. And this is the password you set up on your first time setup. And presto, we're into the platform itself, which is the main dashboard. In previous videos, we talked about in podcasts about how to navigate around the web GUI. Today, we're just going to give you a very simple idea of navigating into the platform. So whether you're running a bare metal instance or a single VM guest instance or an SCHA cluster, the same web GUI applies. So we've never changed the actual skin or the web GUI itself. It is the same consistently across multiple management platforms. First thing I want to mention is we're logged in as global admin. So if you come up here and you look at admin, it provides you with the fact is that we're logged in as actually admin. You can go in and change the password. I just happen to add myself as personal information to the global admin account. The role is super admin. The account is global admin. You can see when it was created, and you can put your email address in, change your picture there to indicate who the global admin is. Let's pull this down here to get it out of the way here so you can see profile. You can go in and change the password to as well for global admin. I also want to just mention is we set up a few servers here within our platform to perform lifecycle management. So this is the hallmark of SuperCloud Composer as far as server management is concerned. All these particular buttons on the top here are for your lifecycle management to perform day 0 through day 2 activity for each of those servers. You can click on each one there and look at the front and rear view of physical assets. So we're not going to get into a lot of this detail because we cover this in other videos to show you, but just wanted to sort of show you that we're able to see this information from the HA clustered environment. So that shows you a little bit of how you would log in through global admin. So let's log out of here and then let's go ahead and log in as an AD. So we have an Active Directory service that is in our customer demo center in the back end that provides us with common login capability. That particular AD is called scc-domain.org. And by logging in there, you will plug in your account. My account happens to be CulpK, and then put in my password here as and we're logged into the AD domain, and you can see here we're logged in as CulpK and sccdemo.org. In a previous video, we can talk about how we log in or make ourselves available through the AD and how we map each of those role-based access controls within SCC, setting up group filters and things like that, which we covered in a previous video podcast. You can see here that our menu options have actually changed, right? When we logged in as global admin, you saw a lot more menu options here along this pane here, left pane, sidecard information. So here, because CulpK is a member of a certain particular role-based access group within SuperCloud Composer, we only limited the amount of features and menu options and tasks that they can perform. Remember, we talked about in previous videos about the need to know of what we're exposing for each of these roles. We have clear delineation between a role such as a server architect versus a system administrator, and so on and so forth. So the data and what we expose here is limited for that particular user because it's assigned to a specific role based access. So that is really concludes our navigation or showing you or illustrating how we would log into the platform for both AD and global admin for local user. Next video, we're going to kind of look at a little bit of the architecture under the hood of SuperCloud Composer as it relates to Kubernetes, looking at various different things such as pods, services, deployments, namespaces, and various different commands that we can issue within K9s to give a better understanding of the architecture and be able to navigate and make sure that your K9s or your SCC cluster is up and operational. So we're not going to go into detail and give you a complete architectural discussion of Kubernetes. That's not the purpose of what we want to provide in the next video, but just giving you general commands and having to be able to navigate around the Kubernetes cluster so that you can understand a little bit, maybe do some simple troubleshooting to give our service organization some tips on what they can look for or why your environment is not working the way it should be working. So that concludes this particular video on logging into the WebGUI, which is the container that is part of the Kubernetes cluster. Thanks for joining today. Thanks for sticking with me here. Hopefully these videos are informative to you to give you an understanding of where Supermicro is going, their vision, and why software in supporting an HA infrastructure and enterprise management on general compute is important to SCC, important to my team, and important to the strategy of Supermicro. Thanks for joining today. We'll see you next time.